Have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped trying to clean everything and started choosing what truly matters? I'm going to share something with you today that changed the way I see my home. Not a new product, not a faster way to scrub. Something quieter than that. Something that finally helped me stop feeling buried under endless tasks that never seemed to finish. For years, I believed that a clean home meant doing more. More wiping, more organizing, more effort, and I was tired. So tired. My back hurt. My mind felt heavy. And still, the house never felt truly calm. Then I learned about a simple rhythm. 3 small decisions, 30 minutes each, repeated with intention, not pressure. And slowly everything shifted. Not because I worked harder, but because I worked differently, with more awareness, with more respect for my own energy. If you stay with me until the end, I'll walk you through each part of this method. You'll see how it removes the weight of too many choices, how it brings order without exhaustion, and how it can help you create a home that feels lighter, even if your body feels more tired than it used to. This isn't about perfection, it's about peace. Let's begin. Tip 1. 30 minutes for what stays. The first 30 minutes of this method are not about cleaning at all. They're about deciding. About looking around your home and asking a gentle question. Does this still serve me? We hold on to so many things without realizing it. Things we haven't used in months. Things we keep because we think we should. Things that sit in corners and on shelves, quietly adding weight to our days. Not because they're dirty, but because they demand our attention. Our eyes see them. Our mind tries to organize them, and we grow more tired. So for 30 minutes, once a week, walk slowly through one room, just one. Look at what's there. Not to judge yourself, but to notice. Pick up an item and ask, do I use this? Do I love this? Does it make my life easier or harder? If the answer is no, let it go. Give it away. Set it aside for donation, or simply place it in a box to remove later. The goal is not to empty your home. The goal is to remove what silently exhausts you. I started with my kitchen counters. I had 3 containers I never used. A decorative bowl that collected dust. A stack of papers I kept thinking I'd need. When I removed them, the counter didn't just look cleaner. It felt easier, lighter. I could see the surface clearly. I could move without shifting things out of the way. This first step is about creating space. Not empty space, breathing space. The kind that lets you rest your eyes and your mind when you walk into a room. 30 minutes, one room. What stays and what no longer needs to. Tip 2. 30 minutes for what moves. The second 30 minutes are about flow. About making sure that everything in your home has a place it returns to. Not a perfect place, just a clear one. When things don't have a home, they wander. They sit on tables, they pile on chairs, they collect in corners. And each time you see them, your mind has to work. Where does this go? What should I do with it? The questions are small, but they add up. They drain you without you realizing it. So during this second half hour once a week, focus on one type of item. Pens, keys, towels, mail, cups. Choose something that tends to scatter through your home. Gather all of them, bring them to one place, and decide where they will live from now on. For me, it was cups. I would find them everywhere. On the bedside table, on the coffee table, on the windowsill. I wasn't lazy. I was just moving through my day, and cups followed me. So I chose one small tray. I placed it on the kitchen counter, and I made a quiet agreement with myself. Cups return here. Not immediately, not perfectly, but at the end of each day, they come back. Now when I walk through my home, I don't see cups scattered like small reminders of unfinished tasks. I see clear surfaces, and my mind feels clearer too. This step isn't about being strict with yourself. It's about being kind. You're not creating more rules. You're removing small decisions that nobody needs to make over and over again. You're letting things rest, so you can rest too. 30 minutes, one category of items. Give them a home, so they stop wandering. Tip 3. 30 minutes for what stays clean. The third 30 minutes are different. This is where you care for what you've already simplified. Not deep cleaning, not scrubbing. Just a gentle maintenance that keeps the peace you've created. After you've removed what weighs you down, and after you've given things a clear place to return, you'll notice something. Your home doesn't get messy as quickly. It doesn't feel overwhelming anymore. And that means the care it needs becomes softer, lighter, almost easy. So once a week, spend 30 minutes keeping things as they are. Walk through your main living spaces, smooth a blanket, return a few items to their places, wipe down one surface that you use often. Not because it's dirty, but because it feels good to touch something clean. I usually do this on Saturday mornings. I move slowly. I don't rush. I don't try to do everything. I just walk through the rooms where I spend my time, and I tend to them the way you'd tend to a small garden. A little attention here, a little care there, enough to keep things growing well. This step protects the work you've already done. It keeps the calm from slipping away. And because you're no longer surrounded by clutter or confusion, it doesn't take much effort. Just 30 minutes, just presence. You're not maintaining a perfect home. You're maintaining a peaceful one. Homes are different all over the world, yet calm feels the same everywhere. From which part of the world are you watching this? I'd love to read your comment. Your comment helps this community grow. And if this way of thinking is helping you so far, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Tip 4. The method follows your energy, not a schedule. Here's something important. This method isn't meant to be rigid. It's meant to bend with your life, with your body, with your energy on any given day. Some weeks, you'll have strength for all 3 steps. Other weeks, you may only manage one. And that's not failure. That's wisdom. That's listening to yourself instead of pushing through exhaustion. I learned this the hard way. At first, I tried to do all 90 minutes in one day. I thought that's what discipline meant. But I felt drained, resentful. The method started to feel like pressure, and pressure is exactly what I was trying to escape. So I softened. Some weeks, I do the 30 minutes for deciding on Monday, the 30 minutes for organizing on Wednesday, the 30 minutes for maintaining on Saturday. Other weeks, I do them all on Sunday afternoon while listening to soft music. And some weeks, I only do one step, just one, and I let that be enough. The method works because it removes the need to do everything at once. It breaks care into pieces small enough to hold. And it trusts you to know what you can carry on any given day. Your home doesn't need you to be strong all the time. It needs you to be consistent when you can, and gentle with yourself when you can't. Listen to your body. Follow your energy. The method will wait for you. Tip 5. It prevents the avalanche of overwhelm. One of the hardest things about keeping a home is the way small messes grow into big ones. A few dishes become a full sink. A pile of mail becomes a mountain. A cluttered corner becomes a room you avoid. And when that happens, we freeze. We feel defeated before we even begin. We look at the mess and think, I can't. And so we don't. And it grows larger, and we grow more tired. This method stops that cycle, because you're never letting things pile up long enough to become unbearable. You're tending to your home in small, steady rhythms, removing what doesn't serve you, returning what does, caring for what remains. I used to avoid my bedroom. I would let clothes pile on the chair, papers stack on the dresser, dust settle on the nightstand, and every time I walked in, I felt heavy, like the room was disappointed in me, like I was failing at something I should be able to do. Now, because I spend 30 minutes each week just deciding what stays, the piles don't form. Because I spend 30 minutes giving things a home, the surfaces stay clear. And because I spend 30 minutes maintaining the peace, the room feels like a place I want to be. The avalanche doesn't come anymore, because I'm not letting the snow pile up. This is what prevention feels like. Not constant work, just consistent, gentle care. Tip 6. It teaches you what you actually use. Something beautiful happens when you start removing what you don't need and organizing what you do. You begin to see your life more clearly. you begin to understand what truly serves you. Most of us own far more than we use. We keep things just in case. We hold on to gifts we never liked. We store items we think we should want, even though we reach past them every single day. But when you spend 30 minutes a week deciding what stays, you start to notice patterns. You realize you only use 2 of your 6 wooden spoons. You see that you never reach for that heavy pot. You notice that certain clothes hang untouched for months, while others are worn and washed on repeat. And slowly, you stop keeping things out of guilt or obligation. You keep what helps you, what comforts you, what makes your daily life easier. I had 7 coffee mugs. I used 2. Always the same 2. They fit my hand well. They felt good to hold. The other 5 just took up space in the cabinet, making it harder to reach the ones I actually wanted. So I removed them. I gave them away. And now when I open the cabinet, I see exactly what I need. No choices, no clutter, just clarity. This method doesn't just organize your home. It organizes your relationship with your belongings. It shows you what matters, and it gives you permission to let go of the rest. Tip 7. It respects your age and your body. Let me say this gently. You are not the same person you were 20 years ago. Your body has changed. Your energy has changed. And the way you care for your home needs to change too. This method was made for people like us. People who can no longer spend hours scrubbing and lifting and bending. People who need to work smarter, not harder. People who deserve a home that feels good without demanding everything we have. 30 minutes is manageable, even on a tired day. Even when your knees ache or your back is stiff, you can sit while you decide what to keep. You can move slowly while you organize. You can stop and rest whenever you need to. There is no race, no deadline, no one watching to see if you finish. I used to feel ashamed that I couldn't clean the way I used to. I would see younger people moving quickly through their homes, and I felt slow, weak, like I was failing at something simple, but I wasn't failing. I was just using an approach that didn't fit my body anymore. Now I move at my own pace. I take breaks. I sit when I need to. And I still have a home that feels peaceful. Because peace doesn't come from speed. It comes from intention. This method honors where you are right now. It doesn't ask you to be someone you're not. It works with your body, not against it. Tip 8. It creates predictable order. One of the most exhausting parts of keeping a home is the unpredictability. You never know when the mess will return. You never know how long the calm will last. You clean, and then 2 days later, it's as if you did nothing at all. This method gives you something rare, predictable order. Because you're working in steady rhythms, your home stays in a consistent state. Not perfect, not spotless, but manageable, peaceful enough. You begin to trust that your home won't spiral out of control. You know that even if things get a little messy during the week, your 30-minute sessions will bring them back to center. You stop feeling anxious every time you walk through the door. You stop bracing yourself for chaos. I used to wake up on weekends with a knot in my stomach, knowing I had to face the mess. Now I wake up knowing exactly what I'll do. 30 minutes to decide, 30 minutes to organize, 30 minutes to maintain, and then I'm done. The house feels calm. I feel calm. And I can spend the rest of my day resting or doing something I actually enjoy. Predictability is a gift, especially as we get older, especially when our energy is limited. We need to know what to expect. We need to know that we can handle it. This method gives you that. Tip 9. It teaches the people you live with. If you live with others, whether a partner, family, or guests who visit often, this method teaches them something important without you having to nag or explain endlessly. It teaches them that everything has a place, that care is shared, that the home is everyone's responsibility. When things have a clear home, people naturally start returning them there. Not because you asked, not because you reminded them, but because the system makes sense. It's easy to follow. It doesn't require thinking. I stopped asking my husband to put things away. I just made sure those things had an obvious place to go. Keys go in the bowl by the door. Mail goes in the tray on the counter. Shoes go on the rack. not because of a rule, but because the rack is right there, easy to reach, easy to see. And slowly, he started doing it. Not perfectly, not every time, but more often. Because the method removed confusion. It removed decisions. It made the right choice, the easiest choice. If you live alone, this still matters. Because you're teaching yourself. You're building a rhythm that your future self will thank you for. A rhythm that doesn't rely on willpower or memory. A rhythm that simply flows. Order isn't something you force. It's something you create space for. And when the space is clear, order comes naturally. Tip 10. It lets you enjoy your home again. Here's the truth I want you to hear. Your home should not feel like a burden. It should not feel like a constant reminder of what you haven't done. It should not make you tired just by looking at it. Your home should feel like a place you're happy to return to, a place that holds you gently, a place where you can rest. And this method, these 3 simple 30-minute rhythms, can give that back to you. When you're no longer surrounded by clutter, you see your home clearly. You see the light coming through the window. You notice the softness of a blanket. You feel the quiet. When you're no longer overwhelmed by endless tasks, you have energy for other things, for reading, for sitting outside, for calling a friend, for simply being still. When your home is cared for in small, consistent ways, it stops demanding so much from you. It stops shouting for attention. It starts supporting you instead. I didn't realize how heavy my home had become until I lightened it. I didn't realize how much mental space the mess was taking until I cleared it. And now, when I walk through my door, I feel something I hadn't felt in years. Relief, peace, ease. Your home can feel that way too. Not perfect, not magazine ready, but yours, comfortable, light. That's what this method offers. Not a cleaner home, a calmer one. A home that lets you breathe. I know that some of what I've shared today might feel unfamiliar, maybe even a little strange, but I also know that somewhere in these words, something probably felt true to you. Something you've been feeling but didn't know how to name. You don't have to do all of this at once. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't even have to start this week if you're too tired. But when you're ready, try one step, just one. Spend 30 minutes deciding what stays. See how it feels. See if your home feels a little lighter. See if you feel a little lighter. And if it helps, come back and try another step. Move at your own pace. Trust your own rhythm. Let the method serve you, not control you. Which of these ideas spoke to you most? Was there one step that felt familiar, or one that you're curious to try first? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Your words help this community grow, and they remind me that we're all walking this path together. If you found something helpful here today, please subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. There's so much more I want to share with you. Quiet ways to care for your home and yourself. Gentle rhythms that make life feel easier. You don't have to do this alone. Before we finish, let me share something with you. If you want to keep your home truly clean, organized, and pleasant without effort or excess, I've prepared a complete guide with simple recipes, a gentle weekly routine, and methods that help everything feel lighter. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now take what spoke to your heart today and try it calmly at your own pace. Your home is waiting to feel lighter, and so are you.